I just moved into a new neighborhood. I've lived with the same dude for the last 10 years. I'm not gay, don't let the light blue sweatshirt fool you. But he's my best friend since college, Marty, half man, half party. That's why his parents named him Marty. You know? Have you guys ever had a friend, have you ever had a friend who's so dumb, you're essentially just keeping him alive by being friends with him? You know? Like a couple months ago, I had a really uncomfortable conversation with Marty where I had to explain to him that a 401k plan does not mean your company plans on giving you $401,000 when you retire, dude. You gotta contribute. Marty came home in college one time and was like, guys, I had my first threesome last night. We're like, Marty, that's awesome. Who did you have a threesome with? He's like, well, it was me and my girlfriend Kim and some dude she works with. Your girlfriend cheated on you and you held her hands. That is not, you don't get credit for a win on that one. That is not you. But we just moved into this new neighborhood. We went outside the first day. We saw a woman walking her dog. We're like, hey, can you tell us where we can get groceries? And she's like, oh, I can. About a block and a half that way, there's a bodega. But if you want to go about 4.5 blocks that way, there's a Whole Foods. You look like you would prefer the Whole Foods. Which I took as such a sincere compliment that somebody could take one look at me and be like, that guy can afford to shop at a food museum. Have you been to a Whole Foods? Just one $9 apple dancing underneath the light, taunting you. You're like, you can't afford me, poor kid. I know you got a financial aid payment to make. There's no way you're bringing me home. Have you been in there's like the hipsters of produce when you're in there. Like I was picking up this orange thing with points that I've never seen before. And I pointed at the guy, I was like, hey, can you tell me what this is, Paradise? And he was like, that's an Arcade Fire orange. You never would have heard of it. You never would have heard of it. It's way too progressive for you. You should probably just stick with like the Pearl Jam plums or something. Jock. If you need me, I'll be over here in the corner silently judging you. Wearing my skinny jeans with my arm around my quirky Japanese girlfriend. I don't understand why you had to make high school so hard for me. The reason I had to move into a new neighborhood, I was engaged last year. Just so you guys know, if you are thinking about getting engaged to a Greek girl named Michaelopoulos, and somebody tells you that her nickname in college was slept with a lot of us, that is not the one to drop a $24,000 ring on. Don't do it, all right? But we all work from the same awful rubric, like the same romance everyone has to aspire to in Western culture, and it's awful. Like everybody has to aspire to Romeo and Juliet. #1 song right now, Taylor Swift Love Story. #1 album when we were growing up, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, that Romeo and Juliet soundtrack with Claire Danes, DiCaprio, people at West Side. So it's always around. It's been around for 400 years, and it's terrible. Like if you guys don't know, Juliet was 14. Romeo was 16. They dated for 6 days. Then they both killed themselves. Like if that happened now, they would just be the sad goth kid footnote on Verona's class of 2009 yearbook. Like, hey, do you remember those two weird kids that used to wear a ton of eyeliner and use giant words out of context? Do you know they both killed themselves because they couldn't get tickets to see Slipknot at the Mayhem Festival? Good riddance. Why are they all over our yearbook? And there's like 6 days, you couldn't keep it fresh and new for 6 days, buddy? Like there's a reason Shakespeare didn't keep them alive, show them 35 years down the line at breakfast. They've exhausted all affection for each other. Just nothing but passive aggressiveness back and forth. Like, Romeo, baby, did you just take the knife directly from the butter and stick it in the jelly for your toast? It's really kind of a white trash move. Maybe that's how they did things in the Montague house growing up. Oh, white trash. You want to talk about your pill-popping mother then for a second, huh? 2 families of Verona of equal dignity. My ass, Juliet. How about that? Oh, dignity. Was it dignified when you stabbed my cousin in the middle of the street like it was the goddamn Beat It video, huh? Right. Do you guys like Venn diagrams? You guys know what they are? All right, cool. I'm gonna do some Venn diagrams. Kitty, will you come up and help me? This is Kitty. Yay! Give Kitty a round of applause. So, Venn diagrams are two circles, and they usually need to overlap to demarcate a population. So, if you could like scroll it around. So this one is not actually a Venn diagram just because it's two circles. Like for instance, the red one would be people who get excited when they see Vin Diesel in a movie trailer. And then the green one would be people whose opinion I respect. So no overlap. So you can see that. So, well, this one I like a lot. So, the green is your chances of getting laid in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Alright? And then the red is the size of your triceps. Alright? And once you go above like 20% of your body weight in your triceps, you have a very good chance of getting laid in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. And you're like, why is it that color orange? Because that's like the Dayglow Dago color you need to be to get laid in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. I don't know if you've seen those guys. They're orange and they have giant triceps. I don't know how strong you need to be to shut the door of a tanning bed, but evidently it is very strong. Because they have huge triceps. Oh, this next one is one of my favorites. It's one of the smallest amounts of overlap in the world, but the yellow is people with a sense of responsibility, all right? And then the blue is pit bull owners. Virtually zero overlap. And then this one also has a very small overlap. There's another one underneath. The yellow is people who dress tactfully. And then this one is people who wear their ethnicity in a tube top. And if you're like, oh, that's racist because that's a Puerto Rican flag, you just turn it 90 degrees. Now I'm being a jerk to people from Texas. Thank you, Kitty. Yay. So I mentioned the engagement breaking up. The worst part is having a date in New York again, because there's just certain things, I'm 29 years old, like I'm just not doing anymore. Like I just won't participate. I'm done with dry humping. I will not participate in it anymore. I am finished with that charade. You didn't laugh, you just went, ah! Did the mention of dry humping give you girl boners? What was that? Okay. But like, every time I'm dry humping, I'm like, this is just what sex would be like. We both had denim genitals. I don't understand why we're doing this. there's this one. I don't, ladies, I'm on your team for this one. I don't understand finishing on the face. I don't understand it. I've never, or as the dudes with the giant triceps refer to it, the prestige. I've never wanted to do it in my life. Never been having sex with someone and wanted to be like, no, you look foolish. There's love in your eye. Never.